A week after the least watched Raw broadcast in over 4 years, resulting in the company dropping the controversial direction to shift the focus back to the Survivor Series build-up 13 days to the pay-per-view. Raw coming from the Fleet Center in Boston, in addition to Eric Bischoff hyping the first on-screen look at the Elimination Chamber structure, was said to see Vince McMahon giving an almost unprecedented access to the behind-the-scenes process of WWE television, with reporters from the local Boston Globe magazine given rare backstage access for 12 hours to attend the pre- and post-show production meetings in preparation to tonight's Raw, starting the coverage of the day a little past 12 o'clock to follow Vince into the first creative meeting, to a room reportedly consisting over 20 people with 4 rows of tables to go over the final draft of the Raw script by previewing and tweaking the 11 segments planned for the show tonight, setting up the top theme of the show as re-establishing the feud between Shawn Michaels and Triple H on the way to Survivor Series, with McMahon telling the reporter that the show is going to tease Michaels confronting Hunter all the way through the 2 hours to create big anticipation for Shawn coming out by the end of the night, kicking off with a 3-minute Warning vs. Hardy and Bubba tag match with a 3.2 rating and over 4.3 million viewers, and a slight viewership increase over the opening audiences of recent weeks, with one of the segments McMahon referred to in the pre-show meeting coming next, with Victoria sitting at the announcer's table during a Trish vs. Ivory match, putting the emphasis in the script mainly on the post-match angle, with Victoria hitting Lawler before starting a brawl with Trish in the build to their hardcore match at Survivor Series, with Vince noting in the meeting that Victoria's shot at King should not be presented as comedic but rather a serious angle to up the intensity of the Trish-Victoria feud. With Eric Bischoff making a rare SmackDown appearance last Thursday to shoot a major angle of him kissing Stephanie to take the brand's rivalry in a potential different direction, with rumors going as far as the company looking to move away from the brand split. After starting the show with Eric watching back the footage, Raw followed up on it with Hunter and Flair after confronting Eric on booking him to defend the title against 5 wrestlers at the Elimination Chamber, playing the tape of the segment with Hunter and Eric watching the footage to see it after a strong climb in the first 45 minutes, peaking the first hour in the third quarter with a 3.7 rating and over 5 million viewers, in a quarter also featuring the second video teasing Scott Steiner's debut before a Storm and Regal vs. Snow and Dreamer tag match going 4 minutes. With Steiner, after still being advertised as late as last weekend as one of the top names to headline the upcoming World Wrestling All-Stars European Tour in the next month, with him still the world champion of the promotion, being taken off advertising in the past several days, with WWE negotiating with its management with a plan to send several wrestlers on the tour set to feature a loaded lineup including Sting and Luger's first wrestling shows since the end of WCW, to replace Steiner, who is now said to be an exclusive performer, with Steiner's contract after worries about him being physically capable of working a full-time road schedule with the company after his back and foot injuries in recent years, signing a similar deal to the one offered to Hogan, Hall and Nash early in the year, with up to 14 dates a month including 4 TV shows, 1 pay-per-view and 9 house shows with 1 weekend off. With Raw next after the past month of videos hyping his arrival to the brand, seeing Dave Bautista's Raw debut match with him going over just incredible in a quick squash, with major plans for Batista as a potential top player, including McMahon prior to the show specifically instructing the camera crew to get several shots of Batista from different angles, seeing the match maintaining practically the full audience from the previous quarter at the 5 million viewers range, closing the hour with Triple H coming out for a promo calling out Michaels, averaging 4.8 million viewers and a strong jump of 600,000 viewers from last Monday to the most watched first hour of Raw in almost 2 months. Booker T and Triple H going face-to-face open Raw's second hour in a promo confrontation involving Jericho and Kane, hyping the Survivor Series title match in the main event tag later tonight. bumping Raw to a show-high 3.8 rating with over 5.1 million viewers and the peak viewership total for the night, with Madison Square Garden after tickets went on sale last Saturday selling out in a span of 4 days to see the company sending out a press release last Thursday on Survivor Series due to higher ticket prices breaking the record set for the 2000 Royal Rumble as the highest-grossing event in the Garden's history, with hopes that the pay-per-view number will follow with the intrigue of the first-time-ever concept. With the first look of the new structure built as a combination of the Hell in a Cell and War Games revealed to close the top of the hour quarter in a segment also featuring Test coming out with Stacey as his manager in the new look suggested by the company for the Canadian group since the move to the Raw brand in August to go over Hurricane in the latest attempt to elevate Test to the next level. With the band set to perform the song at the World from Times Square next Sunday for his entrance on the pay-per-view at the Garden, a Chris Jericho WWE Desire video package to Saliva's King of My World debuted on Raw with Jericho highlights mainly from the past year that saw him being put over strong in a mega-elevating job from Rock to the highest status of his career in early 2002 before gradually sliding down the card on almost a monthly basis, with Jericho who in recent months publicly criticized some of the creative decisions and the TV product perhaps more than anyone currently working in the company, including the decision to move him from SmackDown to Raw, in a radio interview during the week again noting that SmackDown is the better show in his opinion based on the strong work of Angle, Benoit, Eddie and Edge on a weekly basis, with Jericho next facing one of the rumored political reasons for him dropping from main event status, with the legit heat between them continuing in recent months perhaps more than ever before, with Triple H and Jericho hyping their tag match in the main event while continuing to build up Michaels' involvement coming up, featuring Van Dam vs. Christian next, going 7 minutes at the 10:30 p.m. quarter to bump Raw 300,000 viewers back to the hour average 4.8 million viewers. With headlines from WWE mostly dominating the industry and especially in recent weeks with the TV content controversy, the latest Hogan vs. McMahon dispute and Scott Steiner signing. One of the big stories of the week saw the sale of TNA to Dallas's Panda Energy to bring up new hopes of potential major financial support that will lead to a national TV deal to establish the company as a legitimate alternative to McMahon, along with a political battle escalating inside the current regime and the company with conflicting visions on what the TV product should be between original founder Jerry Jarrett to Vince Russo, who was hired by him in June to head the creative regime, all but guaranteeing political fireworks until one side completely takes over going forward. With the Michaels-Hunter confrontation, the show was built around still being hyped at 10:50 p.m. minutes before the main event tag match, seeing the entrances taking place from 10:53 p.m. to start almost in the overrun, with the Raw broadcast besides delivering the expected show-closing Michaels appearance was also set to face the challenge of keeping the Boston crowd in the building after the show goes off the air, with an additional match set to be taped for the upcoming Super Tuesday 1-hour TV special set to air on UPN on November 12, with Vince McMahon and top producer Dunn talking to the crew about the logistical hurdle and making the transition from the ending of Raw to the 10-man tag match by properly positioning the wrestlers in the ring to keep the attention of the crowd in the building, with Vince and Dunn while reviewing the show segment by segment at the post-production meeting near midnight noting that the show ran 3 minutes over the originally scheduled time, with the overrun going nearly 10 minutes past 11 p.m., seeing the Booker and Kane vs Jericho and Hunter tag match going 10 minutes, ending with Michaels in his return to the venue of the last match of his original run at the Fleet Center at WrestleMania 14, finally coming out at 11:07 p.m. to superkick Hunter for the finish, saying that the Survivor Series match fits everything he represented throughout his career, with a major pay-per-view main event at the Garden and a first-time ever concept to officially confirm his place in the Chamber match, closing the show at nearly 5.1 million viewers, but with the show overall, despite the slight rating increase to a 3.5 rating over the nearly 5-year low 3.4 of last Monday, seeing a major rebound in viewership, with the broadcast averaging 4.8 million total viewers in the most watched Raw in over 2 months. Minutes after Raw went off the air on TNN, with McMahon and producer Dunn planning the transition throughout the day to keep as much of the boss and crowd in the building, the company quickly sent out all the wrestlers to the ring to shoot the Raw brand's top match for the Super Tuesday special in the lead-up to Survivor Series, with a Kane Van Dam Booker Bubba and Hardy vs Hunter Jericho and 3-minute warning tag match going 10 minutes to almost 11:30 p.m. set to air next Tuesday in the first Raw match on network television, with a similar formula set to tape the SmackDown match right after the TV taping tomorrow night.